What's up, YouTube? Thanks for stopping by. I am the Average Doomsday Prepping Dude. Today we're going to be continuing my Tanfoglio Stock 2 Do-It-Yourself series. Tanfoglios are sweet pistols, but anyone who has a Stock 2 kind of knows that they have a really sharp trigger guard area. So we're going to be addressing that today. We're going to be actually kind of dehorning or smoothing out the sharp edge. That way it actually doesn't give you the the infamous knuckle rash, the Glock knuckle, if you will, as an insult to Tanfoglio's calling it the Glock knuckle. But that's really what it is. Glocks are notorious for that, where you get a blister or a rash where the trigger guard is right on your knuckle because of the undercut. And Tanfoglios, again, like I said, if you have one of these, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know why the Tanfoglios are so sharp compared to other manufacturers, but they are. So the simple is actually pretty simple. It doesn't cost much. All you need is some sandpaper. So let's dive into that right now, and we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's kind of go over what we're going to be doing to your Tanfoglio trigger guard. You can actually already see that I've already done some of the work on the edges of the trigger guard to make it not so sharp. You can tell because the colorization of the bottom of the trigger guard is different than now the edge, because by sanding it, you're taking off the finish. As an example, I've done work on other pistols, like my other Italian love, the Beretta 92. This is my main competition Beretta for production. And you can see I've undercut the trigger guard here, and I've taken off the sharp edges on the Beretta as well. What that actually does is, when your finger is here, under the trigger guard, it's not, some people get a little blister or rash there, and that's because of this area here is very sharp, and you want to basically dehorn that entire area. The nice thing about the Tanfoglio versus, other nitrided pistols like the Beretta is that, I've basically done the same thing where I've just sanded this area in, but because this has a black nitride finish, it really stands out the work that I've done in terms of, beaver tail, undercutting trigger guard, and whatnot. Whereas on the Tanfoglio, because it is a stainless steel color, even though I've already done the work, you really can't tell unless you look very closely that I've actually done the work. But when you feel it, you can feel that there's no sharp edges. And that's basically what we want to get done today. So let's dive right into this. Let's safety check our pistol first. Pistol is safe. The only thing you are going to need is some sandpaper. I was using 600 and 800 grit sandpaper. The way sandpaper works is the smaller the number, as in like 1 to 500, is going to be more coarse, and the higher you go, 1,000, 2,000, it's going to be finer grit sandpaper. So you want something kind of in the middle, because if you use something too coarse, you're going to have lots of big scratches. You're going to be taking off a lot of material off of it. And if you use something too fine, like polishing grade sandpaper, you're going to be really sitting there trying to get the sharp edges off. So the 600 grit sandpaper, 800 grit sandpaper works. You don't need this much actually, but you can go to Home Depot or Amazon, just buy this online. Buy a whole bunch of sheets. I think Amazon sells like a test package that sells like 3 sheets of each kind of grit, from 120 all the way up to 3,000 for maybe 15 bucks or 10 bucks, something like that. So sandpaper's not expensive, so this is a very cheap project. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna actually rip off, fold about a ½ inch, 3/4 inch down the sandpaper, and just tear it off. You only need about this much. You're going to start with this much, then fold it in half, and then really all you're doing is going over the trigger guard edges like that. Any place you feel has a sharp edge, just get in there. You don't have to get too deep into it and get too hard. Kind of contour it, but you will see as you're doing it that you are taking off some of the finish. So, if you don't want to, ruin your gun in a sense of, having to refinish it, or you're a real stickler about how your guns look, this is going to change some of the appearance. I actually like the way this looks. So, it's up to you, but I would rather prefer a comfortable gun
than a gun that looks really, really pretty. Because after all, you know, we're going to be holstering this, we're going to be shooting it, and it is going to get kind of worn. So this is a comfort thing, and really, you know, that's all you're really doing. So, you know, I did this already. I'm just kind of doing a little bit more just to show you guys. But really just sit there, you know, with these small cubes as they, you know, you'll see it kind of wear out. You don't want to be using these too long, because what happens is as you're sanding, you know, the sandpaper wears out and then it really doesn't do anything. So as you see it kind of, you use most of the area, flip it over, you know, use the other side. I actually, on the trigger guard area, kind of get in there like this, because that's where your finger's really, really rubbing against the trigger guard to give you that, you know, that blister or the sharp edge. So, you know, you don't have to spend too much time on this. Just spend, you know, maybe 5 minutes, very, very light. Try it out, see how it feels, and then keep going over it again if you need to do more. The nice thing about this is you can do this in stages. And once you're at a level where you're comfortable that, you know, it feels exactly how you want, you just stop. And then again, like I said, because you're not removing too much material, it's just the edge, it actually doesn't look that bad in terms of, you don't really have to refinish your pistol. Whereas on my, you know, my Beretta, I have to renitrate this, or get this Cerakoted, because you can see a lot of the work that I've already done.
All right, everyone, so that's how you dehorn or smooth out the trigger guard of your Tanfoglio Stock 2 pistol. Please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. We're also in the middle of April, so the coronavirus is still, you know, going around. We're on lockdown in California. We have stay-at-home orders. This gives you a chance to check out some of my other videos, work on some of your other pistols that you may need work on. I got videos on the CZ platform, the Beretta platform, and going to be having some SIG 320 platform videos coming up soon. So just remember to stay safe. You know, your health is very important right now, and hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time.